Welcome to the C2 Pipeline Innovation and Curiosity Center Liquids and Solutions Lab. After completing this lab, you should be able to observe the physical properties of 4 different chemicals: water, isopropyl alcohol, glycerin, and liquid detergent. You will compare your observations and reach conclusions about each. You will also learn about solutions and how to prepare them based on volumes. You will gain an understanding of density. We should talk about safety. You should wear safety glasses, gloves, and a lab coat if available during this activity. You should also have your sleeves pushed up and your hair pulled back. Never taste or directly smell any chemicals in a lab and follow all directions. This lab will introduce you to a type of alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, which is also known as rubbing alcohol, and will provide you with an opportunity to compare its physical properties to that of 3 other liquids: glycerin, water, and detergent. Surprisingly, glycerol, the major component in glycerin, is also a type of alcohol, but with a much larger molecule. Detergent is a synthetic cleaning agent that acts like soap. The following physical properties will be observed and compared: an estimate of how long it will take 1 drop of liquid to evaporate completely. Evaporation is the process by which chemical particles or molecules escape into a vapor state from a liquid state. As the temperature of a liquid rises, more particles acquire sufficient energy to escape into a vapor state. You will observe the shape of a single drop of liquid. Droplets of some liquids maintain a rounded shape, while others tend to spread. Molecules that have a positive end and a negative end, also known as polar molecules such as water, are attracted to one another and form round drops due to surface tension. Molecules that have more equalized distribution of charges are attracted less to one another and form flatter and more irregular shaped drops. You will also observe a liquid is able to dissolve in sugar. Table sugar, also called sucrose, is a small molecule that will dissolve in some but not all liquids. Water, alcohol, and glycerin molecules all have unequal distributions of electrical charges and will form a homogeneous mixture with sugar molecules. You will find out whether these liquids will dissolve in sugar during this lab. You will also observe the distance that a liquid travels up a paper towel. The tiny fibers in the paper act as conduits for polar liquids such as water to climb upward against the force of gravity. This phenomenon, known as capillary action, results from the attractions or adhesion of liquid molecules to the sides of a narrow tube or outside the paper's fibers. If the adhesion's force of the liquid to the solid is greater than the force holding the liquid molecules together, the liquid molecules will creep up the tube or fibers. The climb of the molecules stops when the mass of the liquid column is too great for the adhesion force to support it any longer against the pull of gravity. You will also observe the density of the liquids. Density is a measure of how much mass is contained in a unit volume of a substance. Density can be expressed as a ratio of weight to volume. Liquids that are less dense than water will float on the top layer of the water. Liquids that are more dense will sink below a layer of water. Density is a property of all matter. An object's density is a relationship between its mass and its volume, the amount of space it occupies. If 2 objects have the same volume, the one with the greater mass has the greater density. Specific gravity is the density of a substance divided by the density of water. Water has a specific gravity of 1, so specific gravity is the same number or ratio as density when expressed as grams per milliliter, but without any units attached. For the second portion of this lab, we will be observing solutions. A solution is a homogeneous or uniform mixture of one substance with another in which mixing happens at the level of molecules or ions. The major component of a solution is known as the solvent. The minor component is called the solute. Milk is an example of a colloid. A colloid is when particles are mixed in the solution but do not dissolve or settle out. When the larger particles eventually settle out of the mixture due to gravity or by the use of a centrifuge, the mixture is considered to be a suspension. A mixture of soil and water is a suspension. The soil will eventually settle to the bottom of the container, as shown here. Many products that we use daily are actually mixtures known as solutions. For example, rubbing alcohol at 70% is a solution of 70% ethyl alcohol and 30% water. The relative amounts of each are described by volume. The amount of alcohol in beer, wine, and liquors is also measured as a volume percentage of the total. The proof that you see on a bottle of liquor is twice the volume percentage of ethyl alcohol in water. Simply stated, a 20-proof bottle of liquor is actually 10% ethyl alcohol by volume. Blood alcohol concentration, or BAC, is a standard way of reporting the concentration of ethyl alcohol in a person's body. Instead of volume measure, BAC relies on weight per volume measure. Now let's get started with our activity.